Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now. Let's get into what could be a seismic shift in the NFC East, particularly for the Washington Commanders. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster move involving Brian Burns, the star edge rusher from the New York Giants, who might be on his way to our team. And believe me, this isn't just idle speculation. There's some serious chatter behind the scenes that could turn the tide of the division. For those of you who have been paying close attention to the league lately, this move could be the kind of game changer that elevates Washington's defense to a whole new level, especially in the pass rush department, which has been a bit inconsistent this season. So what's the story? Well, according to insiders like Fowler, the Giants, who are currently sitting at a 2-11 record, are in a full rebuild. They're looking to reset their roster and cap space with around $20 million available, and that's a big reason they're exploring trades. One of the pieces they're reportedly open to moving is Burns, a versatile pass rusher who's been making waves all season. The Giants are said to be willing to send Burns to the Commanders in exchange for a second and fourth-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's a significant package, but it makes sense when you consider the Giants are clearing around $22 million in cap space, which they're likely using to fund a future QB or other key pieces for their rebuild. And Burns? He's just 27 in his prime and has proven himself as one of the league's most dangerous pass rushers. In 2025, through 13 games, he's accumulated 56 tackles, including 35 solo stops, and has tallied an impressive 13 sacks. His pass rush grade is solid, with an 82.9 grade versus the Eagles alone, where he managed 5 sacks in just 4 pressures. That's not a small feat. Burns has a win rate of around 4% with 6 tackles for loss and an EPA, expected points added, per rush of -0.28. Even after missing Week 10 due to injury, Burns was still generating consistent pressure, averaging more than 6 pressures per game. He's better than some of the other pass rushers the Giants have, and that could be a key factor in what Washington needs, a boost in their sack numbers and overall pass rush efficiency. Now, this isn't a move the Giants are making lightly. They're in full rebuild mode, and part of that strategy involves freeing up cap space, particularly to sign and retain younger talent or to go after a high-profile QB, such as Neighbors, who's also on their radar with a hefty $15 million cap hit. The Giants are also focusing on acquiring draft picks, prioritizing future assets over current competitiveness, especially with a record like 2-11. In their eyes, Burns is a valuable piece that could fetch the right return, but it's clear they're more interested in a broader rebuild than in competing immediately. For the Commanders, though, this opens up an exciting window of opportunity. Adding a player like Burns would transform their already solid front seven into a real monster. Our pass rush, which currently has 25 sacks and is giving up around 140 rushing yards per game, could see a dramatic uptick. Imagine Burns lining up opposite Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Those three could form a dominant trio that opponents would dread facing. Plus, with our team currently allowing a third-down conversion rate of 41%, boosting our pass rush could be the key to turning those third-and-long situations into quick stops and turnovers. And if we look at the broader picture, adding Burns wouldn't just give us a boost for this season. It's about setting the foundation for future success. Burns, with his explosiveness and ability to pressure the quarterback, would be a perfect complement to our existing pass rushers. It's reminiscent of the kind of duo we saw in the early 2010s with Ryan Kerrigan and others, players who brought relentless energy and consistently disrupted opposing offenses. Burns' ability to generate pressure from the outside and contribute to stopping the run makes him a perfect fit for what Washington is building. Think about the impact. Adding plus 25% pressures, which could push us from around 80 to potentially 100 pressures, and boosting our sack total by around 8 more, taking us from 25 to 33. That's a huge jump, and it could make all the difference in tight games. Now, I know some fans might wonder about the cost and whether it's worth it, but when you consider the potential playoff push, the possibility of strengthening your defense against elite teams, and the long-term benefits of having a game-changing pass rusher like Burns, it starts making a lot of sense. Plus, Burns' performance against top-tier competition, as evidenced by his 82.9 pass rush grade versus the Eagles, shows he can perform at the highest level when it counts. The Eagles, after all, are division rivals and formidable opponents, so having Burns in our lineup could be a game-changer when we face them or other NFC contenders. Looking ahead, the projections are promising. With Burns on our team, we could see a +4 turnover differential, more sacks, and a significant increase in pressures, potentially pushing our total pressures from 80 to around 100. That kind of boost could turn close games into wins and propel us into playoff contention. The NFC East is always competitive, but with Burns bolstering our front, we'd have a clear edge. His presence would also serve as a kind of X-factor in run defense. His ability to stop the run and pressure the QB makes him a dual threat and a nightmare for offensive lines. And let's not forget the impact on our locker room. Young players like Chase Young and Montez Sweat would have a veteran, proven pass rusher like Burns to learn from and play alongside. That kind of mentorship and competition elevates the entire unit. Our defense would become a true strength, complementing our offense led by Sam Howell, who's shown flashes of brilliance and potential to develop into a franchise quarterback. The combination of a solid offense and a dominant defense is what championship teams are built on, and Burns could be the piece that takes us from playoff hopefuls to serious contenders. Of course, the move isn't just about immediate gains. It's about building a culture of relentless pressure and aggressive defense, reminiscent of the best units in recent NFL history. The Commanders, with a front seven that already has 25 sacks, could push that number even higher. The addition of Burns would make us a nightmare for offenses, forcing turnovers, and creating short fields for our offense to capitalize on. That's the recipe for winning in the NFL, especially when facing divisional rivals like the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants. Now, I know some fans might be cautious, wondering about the price and whether the Giants will really part with Burns. But given their rebuild situation and the fact that they're not contending this year, it's a real possibility. They're looking for future assets and cap relief, and Burns, with his proven production, is a prime trade target. Plus, with the current odds of +20 for the Giants to make a deep playoff run or even reach the Super Bowl, this move signals a clear focus on the future rather than immediate success. The Giants are resetting, and Burns could be the key piece for their next chapter, even if it means moving him now. For us, the Commanders, this is a chance to seize the moment. Imagine Burns in our uniform, rushing the passer, disrupting offenses, and helping us take that next step towards Super Bowl glory. His presence would energize our entire defense, and with the right coaching and scheme, we could see our sack total skyrocket, our third down defense improve, and our team elevate to new heights. It's the kind of move that could define a season and help us finally get over the hump. In summary, the potential acquisition of Brian Burns by the Washington Commanders isn't just a rumor. It's a real opportunity that could reshape our defense and give us a serious shot at competing for a playoff spot and beyond. The Giants, in their rebuild, are willing to let go of a talented player like Burns to accelerate their reset, and we need to be ready to pounce if the opportunity arises. This isn't just about adding another player. It's about making a statement that the Commanders are serious about winning, about building a defense that strikes fear in opponents, and about setting the stage for a deep postseason run. The NFC East is always fierce, but with Burns on our side, we could turn the tide in our favor. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Burns would be the perfect fit for our defense? How do you see him complementing Chase Young and Montez Sweat? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion means everything to us and to the future of this team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with the right moves, we're on the verge of something special. Let's keep the passion alive and continue supporting our team through thick and thin. Washington Commanders, let's get it.